Okay, so we're on page 10. Very last page. Looks like this. All right. So I know some of you guys are having trouble with the bed math stuff, and we'll go over some more examples today, and I'll give you more time for the homework, and we'll do a review. That's the one. The very last page. Okay. So the first question here says Jesse, Landon, and Kristen were discussing the following problem. A submarine dives from the surface at 15 meters a minute for 6 minutes. Then it changes its pace and starts diving at 25 meters a minute for 20 minutes. What is the depth, or how far down did it go after doing the dive? So the students worked together and they came up with this equation. And Jesse said the final answer should be this. Landon said the final answer should be this. And Kristen said the final answer should be negative 750. Who is right? All right, so we start off with the equation that they give us. So they said 6 times negative 15 plus 20 times negative 25. So we got to apply our bed mass rules here. What calculation do we do first? Yes, Lachlan?
The brackets.
All right, and what is there inside the brackets to do?
Well, does it count if we do like 6 times negative 15?
Yeah, we want to do 6 times 15. Yeah, technically we look at brackets, but there's no math operation to do inside the brackets. Then we just jump to the next thing, which is, yes, multiplication. So we go 6 times negative 15, right? Which is, you can use your calculators, but it should be negative 90. Okay. Then we still have the rest of this sitting here.
And then do we do the next set of brackets?
Yeah, the next set of brackets or the multiplication we're sitting there. So what would that be? So we're doing, next we're doing 20 times negative 25. Yes, Gordon?
Negative 500.
Negative 500. So we bring down all of these things. So we have negative 90, and we had a plus sign. And we have a plus and a minus there. So if you have two signs next to each other, we clean that up. A positive and negative. Yes, Lachlan?
It's going to be negative.
Yeah. So a positive and a negative make a negative. So we're going to go clean up both of these to make a negative sign or a subtraction. So negative 90 minus 500. Okay. So what's the answer?
590. Negative 500.
Negative 590. Okay. So who was right? Landon. All right. So we make a little statement. Landon got the correct answer. Okay. All right. Okay, example number 3. Okay, 1 week in March in Peguis, Manitoba. The daily temperature was these numbers here. What was the mean daily high temperature? Now, do you guys know what the word mean means? In math terms, not in somebody's being mean to you. Okay? The word mean, it means average. Now, do you guys know what an average is? Yes, Lachlan.
It's like, I'm going to use basketball as an example.
Yeah.
But it's like, say a player scores 20 points one game.
Yeah.
35 points the next game.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 points the next game.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of pile all those numbers together.
Yeah.
To get what they would have averaged.
Yeah. So there's one more step. You add all the numbers together. So if in Lachlan's example, but then you also, yes, Gordon?
And then you divide the number you get by adding those numbers by the number of values you add in the first place.
Yeah. So then you divide by the number of numbers you added up. So Lachlan said the example, so in the first game, this person scored 21 points. The second one, he scored 10. And what did he say as your last number? Do you remember? 35, right? So you'd have to add up all those numbers, then divide by how many numbers they are. That's the average. So then you get an average of how many points this person scores in a game. So that's 21 plus 10 plus 35. So that'd be 31, 78? No, 31, 68. 66
So it'd be 21, right?
over 3. And yes, so that'd be 22. 66 divided by 3 should be 22. Yeah. Okay. So now what we're doing here is just the same as there, except for the numbers are more. There's more numbers, and they're not as nice numbers because there's negative signs. Now, when I was typing this, I wasn't paying attention carefully. There is a negative sign right here, which should be belonging to this -2 here. So that's not a +2, but a -2. Okay. So if you want to find the average temperature, we need to add all of those numbers together. So what are our numbers? So the average is equal to -2, okay, plus the second number. So I'm going to cross these out as I go along so I don't forget one. -6 plus 1 plus 2 plus -5. I'm just putting the negatives in brackets just to make it nice and clean.
Wait, I'm a bit confused.
Yes, Lachlan?
How are we supposed to do that?
I'm going to add up all the numbers. So I'm just listing all the numbers that we're going to add up, which is all the temperatures. So I'm writing that up, plus 4. And divided by how many numbers there are. How many numbers are there here? Count. How many days was this done for? 7 days, yeah. Okay. So now we need to test your math skills. Add up the top numbers. Tell me what number you get on the top. You can use a calculator if you want, or try to do it in your head. I'm going to pause it here, so I'm going to test your guys' skill here. Okay, let's do this. We're going to go together. -2 and -6 is -8, right? Then we add a 1, 7.
-5.
Add a 2, that gives us to -5. We're sitting at -5 now.
-10.
Add a -5, it makes us -10. Add a -8, -18. Add 4, -14. -14 over 7, which equal to -2. And since we're talking about temperature, the unit is degrees Celsius. Right? Awesome. Okay, and that is the end of the unit. So now we're going to do some homework from the last day, which you didn't finish off, and I'm going to help you on that. Then we'll stop you halfway through, and then we'll start doing some review, okay?